welcome back. So how are you today? So in this video, I wanted to touch a little bit more on that subject of you can't make others happy. I find this such an important topic today because of all the topics we have been discussing. And what's coming up right now, as I've just said, that you can't make others happy. The reason for this is that you can't know fully what that soul is here to experience. And so what happens? In your heart, you may feel like, oh, if I give them what they need to be happy, then they'll be happy, right? This is what we think. But what if you're taking away from their experience? What if they need to go through that experience to learn something really, really important about themselves? You know? So for me, what's been coming up a lot lately is that through all these beautiful videos, through writing these books and all the information I've received about these books in this last year, everything I learn, you know, with each step I take forward, I grow, I evolve, I get stronger, you know? And one of the biggest things, you know, for me to grow, I feel, is that there's been a couple of times where we've been in a position where we could have sold a house that my husband and I are a part of. We have a third each in this house. And if we sold that house, we could knock down and rebuild quite easily here where we are, right? Build our dream home. Now, twice we've been getting ready to sell that house and it's fallen through, right? Now, for me, the sign for me is that that is not the way. Firstly, financially, it's not feasible, like it's not a good idea for us to sell it. You know, we would lose a lot of money selling it that way because we're a third each. And here in Australia, we've got what's called capital gains. And my husband and I would lose a huge chunk of money just to the government, you know, because we're selling it. So it makes more financial sense to hang on to it, right? And perhaps with time, eventually, you know, use it as a rental or whatever, but just keep it because we've already got it now, right? But that's the thing, right? That property, we could have sold it twice. We've, you know, renovated, fixed it up, got it really nice twice now to sell it. The first time was 7 years ago, and the last time was last year. We were getting it all ready to go. And then it all fell through, right? We didn't sell it. For whatever reason, we didn't sell it. Now, what's been coming up a lot for me in the last few days, you know, originally when I found out over Christmas that we weren't going to sell it again for the second time, I felt this frustration that it feels like I'm always waiting for someone else to give me what I want. You know what I mean? Like what my dream is, what I want to do in this life. You know, I'm waiting for it to come from somewhere else. And that was my frustration, that when you're relying on someone else, it's not your efforts, it's not your work that's gone into it, that it can fall through. You have no control over that. I guess it's the control part that was irking me. It's not in my control to do it that way. But the other way I've been thinking about it a lot in the last few days is that the universe is pushing me outside of my comfort zone. You know, I feel comfortable writing the books and I feel comfortable being here and talking to you, but it's pushing me to do more. It's pushing me to get outside of this box that I've created for myself, that I'm comfortable here and I'm good. I don't want to move from here, you know. So, but to publish the first book, I had to step out of my comfort zone. I didn't know anything about that. And the first time it felt so complicated to me to publish that first book, you know. It was really out of my depth. I felt I was really out of my depth doing that first book. When I did the second book, it still felt complicated, but a little bit less because I'd already been through the process once. So the second time around was a little bit less difficult than the first time. By the third book, I was like, oh yeah, here's the book. Okay, thanks, done. It was like, it got so easy. When I first started doing the YouTube videos on my first channel, the same thing. The first few videos were like pulling teeth. It was so hard for me. As much as I love talking, I just felt so nervous, and the nerves would just take over. So I just pushed through that, and I thought I'll just keep going, because at the time I felt like the information was more important. I had to be there. I had to do it. I had to be of service. Because when I woke up, and this is what I was telling one of my beautiful friends today, I felt like I'd spent most of my adult life asleep, all that time asleep. And now that I was awake, I felt like I had to make up for all those years that I'd been asleep, that I could have been serving with this gorgeous information, But I didn't have it to give before. I had to wake up. So, the universe keeps pushing me beyond my limits, beyond my comfort zone. Pushing me. And with each step, as I push through, I realize that I can do more. I can be more. There's more. There's room for more. You know what I mean? I remember when one of the memories that was coming through today about pushing through your comfort zone, pushing through past that fear, was when I learned to ride motorbikes. I learned how to ride a motorbike when I was in my late 30s. I was 38 at the time. Not young. And I barely rode bicycles when I was a kid. So it wasn't something that felt natural to me, to be on a motorbike. So I really, really had to push through my fear to eventually be able to do it well and eventually be able to enjoy it, So there are so many beautiful rewards on the other side of fear when we push through it. So I know that not being able to sell that property that we own with my husband fell through for a reason. That I'm meant to do more here. I keep getting ideas for courses that they want me to do. Then there's the coaching that they want me to do. And so I'm flooded with ideas all day long of things that I can do with all this beautiful information that I've been given. But today with this message, it's not so much about me or my experience of stepping into your power, and that you can. When you push past that fear, you can do it. If you allow that fear to talk you out of it, your whole life, you won't be able to do anything, because the fear will always make you walk away from wonderful things, that you could have, that you could be, that you can do in this life. And sometimes the universe will push you so hard in a direction that you just don't want to go in. But you've got to push through that fear. And once you push through that fear, you realize, oh, it was so worth it. This was the way all along. Because it's not about what you get at the end. It's not about all the money, all the success, the houses, the cars. It's not about all of that. It's about stepping into your power and realizing that you had the power all along to manifest all of that, to create all of that. It was always you. It was always you. That dream inside of you is waiting for you to take action. It's waiting for you to move forward in that direction. Not to wait for something else outside of you to happen. And then when that happens, maybe, like when we wait for the lottery. We can wait a whole lifetime. I've been playing the same numbers for 30 years. 30 years! I've been playing the same numbers. Mind you, most of my life, I've been feeling that I wasn't worthy of having that much money if it came in. And so, of course, that unworthiness pushes it away. There's another situation where we are waiting for something outside of ourselves to come along and create this magical life for us. All the while, we have the power inside. If we are only brave enough to step through that fear. You know, sometimes I think perhaps that fear is like an obstacle asking you, is this what you really want? Is this what you truly wish to have, to be, to do? Are you sure? Well, you're going to have to push past me. You have to really want it. And each time you push past that fear and you show yourself, I can do it because I just did it. With each thing that you do. For me, it was the motorbike riding. That to me was one of the scariest things I've ever done. But when I was on the bike and I was comfortable riding and I had done it, I'd been doing it for a few years then, it was such a wonderful feeling. It's like an accomplishment that no one else can do for you. No one else can give to you. There are certain things in this life that others just can't give you. The universe has placed these things beyond our reach, that we can push past our fear. And each time we get stronger, we get stronger. And that is the whole point. For you to know how strong you truly are. How brave you truly are to push past that fear every time in that direction towards your dreams. The only thing stopping you from creating the life of your dreams is you. It's always you. We can make excuses that because of this, because of that, because of my partner, because of my children. I don't have the money because I have to pay for their whatever, my children's whatever. I don't have the money because we could find a million excuses always. And your dreams just sit there waiting for you to stop making excuses. I don't have the time. We have the time to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, to go to a job, to make one person richer by spending a whole day there working for them. Make the time. I get up at 5 in the morning sometimes to create these videos or to sit and write because that's the only time I have free. And then I come home around 12:30, 1 o'clock. And between 1 and 3, I have lunch and I keep writing and I keep creating videos. And then I have to spend time editing the videos because I can't just upload them raw. I could, but I like to re-listen because new information always comes up as I listen again while I'm editing. So for me, it's always worth it to do it that way. But I find time where I could be doing other things. So my house isn't as clean as I would like it to be. But to me, my writing is more important. Finishing the next book, sharing the information that has been passed down to me is more important than my house being clean. Sometimes I don't have dinner ready. But to me, it was more important to upload that video. That video may save someone from committing suicide. It may have just the right information that person needed to know that they're not alone. To know that Spirit has them. To me, that is more important. So what is important to you? Sometimes it's just changing our priorities. We say that this is more important. We say that having the house clean and beautiful is the most important. But is it an excuse? Is that stopping you from pursuing your dreams? Doesn't matter if the house is a bit dusty. No one died from a dusty house. From a broken heart, maybe. You know, to me, to die of a broken heart is always to have missed loving the most important person. And that is you. We die of a broken heart thinking that we were never loved by the one, when all the while you are the one. You're the one that your heart is waiting for. You're the one. Your heart is waiting for you to acknowledge yourself, to acknowledge how beautiful you are, to acknowledge how valuable you are, to acknowledge that you are here, that you are spirit in human form. You are what you have been waiting for your whole life. You are the knight in shining armor. You are the only one that can rescue yourself. The only one. So, I don't know how we got onto that path. Now, I got off track, but it felt like it was such a beautiful track. It was so worth following. You know, for a long time, I used to say to myself that I was going to be the mother to my little one, to myself, the mother I never had. I had a mother, I have a mother, but the one that I needed, the mother I needed so that I felt loved, so that I felt safe, I felt supported. For a long time, I was that mother to myself. Because sometimes we are so different. We are just so different in this world that the beautiful beings that bring us into this world, as much as they love us, they don't know how to love us. And so I spent most of my childhood feeling that I was adopted. There was no way these could have been my parents. No way. I honestly spent most of my childhood thinking, I'm definitely adopted. One day I'm going to find papers, but I know that I don't belong here. I don't fit into this house. That's why I have different rules. My mum would set rules for me that would never apply to my sister. So I was sure, I have to be adopted. Why would you treat two people so differently if they are true siblings? That's because I was so different. And with time, when you awaken, you realize that your love is the love you've been waiting for your whole life. From the first moment you separated from that love, that is all you yearn for, to return to it. We go off to have this beautiful human experience, this adventure. We separate from the love we are. But we never stop yearning to return to it. Because that love is home. That love is where we are safe, where we are supported. So we started off this beautiful video saying that you can't make others happy, but you can make yourself happy, because only you know what you need to be happy. And I'm guessing, as it was for me, that you just need your own love. You just need yourself to love you, all of you, accept all of you as you are. Right now in this moment, not a different you, not a better you, not a more fit you, not a more patient you, not a better looking you. You as you are right now. This is what your heart is yearning for in every moment. For you to accept yourself as you are, to love every single part of you as you are, because you are so beautiful, so perfect, just as you are. You know, you don't go through the forest and look at the trees and judge each tree that, oh my God, this tree has such a fat trunk. It's so fat. And you look at the next tree and, oh my God, this tree's so thin, it's so skinny. I mean, look at this tree. It needs nourishment. You go through the forest and you admire the beautiful trees. You admire how strong they are, how resilient they are, how they give us our beautiful oxygen to breathe, to live. They give us shade. They give us their wood that we may build houses and furniture to live. They give us so much. We never walk through a forest and judge trees. We just admire each tree as it is. We need to learn to do the same with ourselves. We are not the fat tree or the skinny tree. We are just a tree. It's that simple. All right, my beautiful beings. I love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. And share these beautiful videos that others may know. I love you. Bye for now.